A British-Iranian woman who has been jailed in Iran on espionage charges has said she will go on hunger strike. Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe is protesting against being denied access to medical care after a range of concerns, including finding lumps in her breasts. Well, we've been following Nazanin's story closely on Euronews, and to discuss the situation further, I'm joined in the studio by our correspondent, Alistair Sanford. Well, good morning, Alistair.
Good morning, Isabel.
This is a worrying turn of events, isn't it?
Yes, according to her husband, Richard Ratcliffe, Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe suffers panic attacks. She feels these lumps in her breasts, pain in her neck and numbness in her arms and legs. Now, he says that medical treatment for her has been blocked, even though a prison doctor apparently approved it, as well as the visit of an outside psychiatrist. He says that she feels she's got no choice but to go on hunger strike, so the plan is to do so for 3 days in mid-January. She's not alone. She's doing it with a human rights activist called Narges Mohammadi, who's the deputy president of a Tehran-based NGO called Defenders of Human Rights. She's also in jail and also suffers from health problems. Now, in their joint letter, they say they're doing this in protest at what they call illegal, inhuman and unlawful behaviour. And they say there are concerns for their health and their survival at being denied specialist treatment. Now, Nazanin, as we know, has been in jail now for almost 3 years. She was detained at Tehran airport on a family visit back in 2016. She worked for Thomson Reuters Foundation, but it has repeatedly said she was there on this private visit, and she was jailed for 5 years for spying and plotting to overthrow the Iranian regime, and she, of course, denies that strongly.
And Nazanin has recently turned 40. That was a very difficult milestone, wasn't it?
Yes, on the 26th of December, and her husband says this just reinforces a sense of despair that she's not going to get out of jail and be able to have another baby, for instance. Richard Ratcliffe wants to step up diplomatic efforts now. He wants to meet again the Foreign Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, as well as the respective ambassadors, the British ambassador in Tehran, as well as the Iranian ambassador in London. There are some calls for the UK to get tougher. Amnesty International says, well, it's Iran who's responsible for this, but the British government should really insist on this medical care. So far, of course, diplomatic efforts have come to nothing. Nazanin was temporarily released last summer, but that didn't last. Jeremy Hunt went to Tehran in November, but so far it's come to nothing, and Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe remains in jail.